Good evening. I'm Dr. Gloria Morrow, and I am so sorry I am not there with you all personally. I was unable to come early, but I thank you for giving me this opportunity to present some of the things that we are doing together with Saginaw Max System of Care. I want to thank Wardine Talley and the whole team there at Saginaw for allowing me to be here and for working with them on their cultural competency agenda. And I certainly want to thank Open Table. I've been researching you all, and you're doing some wonderful, wonderful work. And I just think that it's really timely because what I've been doing is working with faith communities to help faith communities to better understand mental illness and to do things to try to encourage people to get the help they need. And then simultaneously, I've been working with mental health professionals and other care providers to help them to understand how to work with diverse communities that are part of communities of faith. So I'll tell you a little bit about my latest project around that. But tonight, I want to talk about widening the welcome and deepening the support, because if we can deepen the support for those people who need us the most, it would be very helpful to them in the long run. I know some of the things that Open Table you all are doing is wonderful, but people are still suffering from mental health issues. And I don't care what we do to try to help them to have housing and jobs and all those things. If they don't have good mental health, then they're not going to be able to benefit from some of those efforts that are being made. So one of the problems that we have to first look at when we think about what's really going on with our young people is that a lot of people are suffering from mental health challenges. And a lot of people of color, for example, are using the church for their health to help them through tough times, which I totally agree. The church is a vital part for folks in other faith communities, but sometimes they need specialized services, so there needs to be an integration between mental health and the faith community. I have a dear, dear friend, and her brother is impaired and suffers from schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. And they really were trying to work with him at home to help him out so that he would not get into the trouble that he finally got into. They didn't think medication was the best for him because it wasn't working well. He wouldn't stay on it. So the parents were just using prayer and scriptures to try to help him. Well, I'm one who believes in prayer and scripture, but this person needed the help of a trained professional, and he needed to be on medication. He ultimately killed both his parents because he was not taking his medication. And so that's just one kind of example of what happens if we don't have a good bridge between mental health and the faith community. And so we know that people within the faith community are suffering, and a lot of times they're suffering in silence because they've been either taught that if they have these kinds of problems, that sin is in their lives or their faith is weak. And so they will not reach out for those services. And the other thing, if we don't have a person that has mental illness themselves, then there are family members who are dealing with these folks. And so we know that according to the National Institute of Mental Health, close to 1 in 5 adults 18 and older has a diagnosable mental disorder. And also, I want to talk to you a little bit about young people, because here in Saginaw, there are many young people who are struggling. With our population of 198,000 people, this community is considered traumatized because of the issues of poverty and health issues and incarceration and all of those kinds of things. So there's a clear rationale for why one's mental health is at stake here. We also know that we have a wonderful opportunity in this work that we're doing, trying to help providers to be more culturally responsive. It does help for them to be able to work with communities that do not necessarily trust a system that has traditionally been oppressive. So I also want to say something else about the young people here in Saginaw. The number of youth with severe emotional disturbances served by the county in 2012 was 478. That's a lot of kids in one community that are having these kinds of issues. And we also know that the juvenile justice system